Hello and welcome to the Daily Meal for Sunday the 12th of December 2021. Today we're going to have a read of an interesting story about our striker situation and what can be done about it. Then we're going to jump into the stats from yesterday's results. So let's jump into it. So this is from londonfootballscene.co.uk and it's an opinion piece by Ryan Loftus. And it says, should Millwall recall Sutton United loanee Isaac Olaofe in January? Millwall's struggles in front of goal have been a persistent problem over the last 18 months. The side currently ranks 16th for goals scored this campaign, the lowest tally in the top half of the Championship. If the Lions are to mount a serious playoff push in the remainder of the season, then in-form Isaac Olaofe could be the answer to Gary Rowett's goal shy side, should he be recalled from his Sutton United loan. The 22-year-old was a key part of Sutton's National League success last season, scoring 14 times in 37 games as the U's claimed a first ever promotion to the Football League. Olaofe's performances suggested the exciting prospect was on the cusp of breaking into Mill's first team for the 21-22 season before picking up an injury on the third day of pre-season to deny him a chance to prove himself. Instead, he rejoined Sutton on loan as they embarked on the inaugural League Two campaign and has picked up where he left off, scoring 5 in his 15 games so far. The youngster is demonstrating a poacher's instinct as well as an incredible work rate with his goals against Tranmere and Leyton Orient, resulting from a relentless pressing that will surely have caught the eye of Gary Rowett. Meanwhile, back in SC16, fans have started to see a front two pairing of Tom Bradshaw and Benik Afobe dovetailing and linking up to great effect. The duo appear to be Mill's only options though, with Matt Smith finding playing time increasingly harder to come by, Jon Dadibod Varson unlikely to make an appearance anytime soon, and Mason Bennett seeing injury troubles creep back in this season. Should Rowett persist with a strike partnership, then he will need greater depth up front, with Olaofe potentially offering something different. He looks the ideal replacement for Afobe, offering a similar dogged work rate, the ability to get him behind, and a natural instinct in front of goal. However, Rowett has hinted he is reluctant to recall any of his on-loan youngsters, telling London Football Scene we're open-minded about it, but the main thing is that they are developing and getting regular game time. Unless you can guarantee them that, there's no point bringing them back from a successful loan when they can carry on scoring goals like Isaac is doing. Although it makes sense to prioritise game time, allowing youngsters to develop and gain confidence ahead of joining the first team, in Olaofe's case, recalling them early might be a smart move. As it stands, all of Mill's current attacking options are out of contract at the end of the season, and it's unclear who will be up top at the start of the following season. Afobe will return to Stoke at the end of the season, a long loan deal. Smith is likely to be released, while Bradshaw's recent form may see him earn a new contract, but he's still struggled to deliver consistently for the Lions. In recent years, Mill has struggled to manage their young players and integrate them into the first team action, but by bringing Olaofe back in January could give him time to ease into Championship life and the opportunity to learn from experienced strikers around him. Olaofe isn't the only youngster who could break into the first team, with Alex Mitchell, Tyler Bury and Aidan Muller all impressing out on loan. The aim of all these loans is that they are going to come back into our team at some point, Rowett said. If you look at those players along with Billy Mitchell and Danny McNamara, then you've got a real core of 5 or 6 players that could play for our first team in the next 12 months. Given the increased financial pressures brought about by the pandemic, it's crucial Mill start to successfully bring further prospects into the side, as they have done with Mitchell and McNamara over the last year or so. It may be too soon for some, but rather than looking outwards for January reinforcements, Olaofe has the potential to make an instant impact at the Den. Special thanks to Paul Loughlin for supplying the image of Isaac Olaofe playing for Sutton United, and Brian Tonks for providing the images at Millwall. So yeah, interesting piece there. Like I said in the video the other day, all of the strikers are out of contract at the end of the season. So who's going to play up front next season? Now, if Isaac Olaofe is going to come into the squad, maybe it's hard to see that he'll be the first choice striker. I imagine Rowett's going to try and sign someone. He's got the head of recruitment, Harvey Bustle, there, so I'm sure I probably imagine that they would probably want to sign a Phobie on a permanent. And if they can't do that, I imagine they have other players lined up. But if Isaac Olaofe is coming into the team, maybe as third option. So if we're playing two up front, he'll be the one on the bench. That might be a thing that could happen. But I think if it is guaranteed, well, not guaranteed. There's nothing guaranteed in this world. But if the situation that is with the strikers, well, John Daddy Bodvarsson's obviously leaving at the end of the season. Phobie's deal he'll be back to Stoke after his loan ends. So if I imagine he would want to sign him. If they can't sign him, then we're back to square one. So if it's looking like Isaac Olaofe will need to come into Millwall's squad at the start of next season, he'll have to come in and play a part, and there's no reason why he shouldn't. One of the best strikers, well, one of the most prolific strikers that we've had in recent years, or two of them, they were conference strikers that we signed. Do you know what I'm talking about? Steve Morrison. Have you heard of him? And Lee Gregory. Have you heard of him? We signed him from the conference teams, I believe. Well, I know we signed Morrison from Stevenage when they were in the conference. It took him a while to score his first goal for Millwall, but when he did, couldn't hold him back. That was it. Boom. So it took him a while to learn how to play in whatever league we were in at the time, probably League One. And that was a jump of 2 leagues. Now we're in the Championship. That's another league up. But if Isaac Olaofe needs to be is coming in next season, I think what the point that Ryan Loftus is making in this piece is, well, bring him in now so he can ease himself into it. Tell him, come in, do bits and pieces, listen to what people tell you. We're going to give you feedback about how you're playing, how we want you to play, and what you're doing right and what you're doing wrong. And then from next season, you're in the squad, and it's gonna be you're gonna be a full-time first team squad player at Millwall. Yeah, the only thing with this is I don't know when this piece was envisaged, but Isaac Olaofe's actually missed the last 2 games for Sutton United. He went off with a dead leg 3 games ago, and he hasn't been featured for Sutton, so he's probably injured. And Hayden Muller as well hasn't been playing for St John's. He's not been even in the squad, which, funnily enough, coincides with a bad run they're on. And the last 2 games he did play, they kept 2 clean sheets, a 0-0 and a 1-0 win. So I don't know why Hayden Muller's not playing, because when he does play, they get results. So there you go. Yeah, and he makes a point here about the coronavirus and that. With the budget, is there going to be a budget for a new striker? If there's not, you're going to have to play Isaac Olaofe. And you're going to leave him at Sutton United to try and get in the playoffs and do something for them. I don't know. And another one that's not even mentioned here is Dan Moss. I mean, what Dan Moss is doing at Yeovil is just being solid, being quite quiet, but playing very, very well, week in, week out. He's a first team regular. in 90 minutes every week. Probably one of the first names down on the team sheet at Yeovil, I don't know, but it seems that way. And when you watched him on the game that was on BBC, the cup game, he looked very good. He did look very good. He might be giving Danny McNamara a bit of a run for his money if he comes into the squad next season. So there's that as well. But I'm sure Gary Rowett would love to sign a professional, the kind of pro player that you get in football, the kind of hardened pro, just mercenary for hire, which they don't really do that well at Millwall, to be honest with you. But we'll see. So I just thought I'd share that story with you, and now I'm going to move on to the stats from yesterday's game. If you're not interested in that, thank you for watching and goodbye. But if you are, stick around, because here we go. So this is the expected goals over the length of the match. It's what we expected. It's 1.8 to Peterborough, 1.3 to Millwall. And as you can see, so the light blue line is Peterborough. They have a spell in the first, so they have a couple of shots within around about the 5th minute. Then they flatline. Each time a chance on goal happens, the line goes up. If it's a really good chance, the line goes up a lot. Like you can see for Peterborough's goal, the circles are goals. So they flatline between the 5th minute and the 17th minute. And that's when we score. We have 3 chances and the third one goes in. But then we have a period in the first half where as soon as we score, they flick a switch and they just start going for it. And you can see basically every 3 minutes or so the staircase effect that I've talked about before. They have a chance, goes along a bit. They have another chance, time goes along a bit. They have another chance. And then these ones are very small. They're not very good chances. So we were defending well, putting them off, interrupting them, not letting them get any decent chances away because they're very small opportunities for them to score. And from after our goal, we only have 2 more shots on goal. One on around about the 27th minute and then one about the 33rd minute. And they're not very good chances either because they just go up. And then apparently second half, right, changes formation or something, so he said, to try and deal with Peterborough because they were all over us. And you can see their XG is higher than ours, so they should have had more goals than we did at that time, but they didn't. So then they come out, they have a, we just try and defend from the second half starting until we have a shot in the 60th minute, and then they score 2 times in quick succession. And after they get that goal, they just start defending. They only have 1 more shot after they got their second goal, and then we bring on 3 substitutes on the 74th minute to do something. And that's then when we start actually playing football and having our own little staircase effect going on, and we just couldn't get the shots on target. And if you don't get the shots on target, you will not score. But them's are the margins. But we apparently tried to defend a 1-0 lead away from home against Peterborough United, and we tried to defend the lead for 45 minutes. Well, we know that doesn't work. We had that under Neil Harris. He would try and do that as well, and it never worked. Even when he tried to do it from the 60th minute, it never worked. Still half an hour of football left to play. Unless you're going to keep kicking it out for throw-ins so that eats up the time and it shrinks the clock. You're still gonna have to, even if you do that and shorten the game, you can probably get away with taking 45 minutes down to about probably 29, but still 29 minutes of actual ball in play football having to be played and defended. But still, you can't defend solidly for 30 minutes if you're just going to sit back and let them take the fucking piss out of you. And here we go. Now here's the thing. If a team's attacking you constantly, wave after wave, that's an ideal time to counter-attack, isn't it? Isn't it? But no, let's just all sit back and defend. And have players isolated up front. So there you go. And especially when they brought on this Clark Harris geezer, they obviously brought him on to change the game. And he did. He scored 2 fucking goals. He got 2 goals. His XG is only 0.6. So those chances that he had should only have gave him half of a goal. They weren't that good. The second one was pretty high. Because he was basically on his own 6 yards out. So there you go. We got lucky. He got 1-0 up. That kind of forced them to actually start. I imagine they were trying to keep it tight as well. But when we scored, that game plan's out the fucking window. It's like, well, can't do that anymore. Let's throw the kitchen sink at them, and then boom, staircase effect. Not very good. So they change the striker, carry on the same way, and he gets the goals. And then we make 3 changes 74th minute, and then we start going at him. What can you do? What can you do? So let's have a look here. So they give the XG 1.93 to 1.29. Peterborough to Millwall. Yeah, you can see that. I don't know why they've given it as a McNamara own goal. It didn't seem that way to me. Maybe I'm not too sure. Maybe I have to check the highlights again and watch it in super slow motion. It wasn't a blatant own goal, so I don't know about that. But you can see here, so 6 minutes after the second goal. So they make the change 56th minute. They bring on Clark Harris on for Smodics. And within 12 minutes, the guy's got himself 2 goals. I'm giving that other goal to him. I'm not taking it. McNamara own goal. And then 6 minutes after the second goal, we bring on 3 substitutions. Let's take a look at the stats. So possession percentage, they have more possession, 54 to 46. Attempts on target, 7 to 3. Attempts off target, 7 to 8. We had 3 shots on target and 8 shots off target. Yowzers. I'm wondering if the club should get an opticians down to the training ground and give everyone an eye test. There must be something going on there. Block shots 7 to 4. So shots that you had that were blocked, well, they had 7, we had 4. Goalkeeper saves. Bart does it again. Bart with 7 saves. Their keeper with 2. Total passes 573 to 309. Completely and utterly outplayed. 481 to 209. Corners 8 to 3. Offsides 2 to 0. Fouls 8 to 21. We fouled them 21 times. And yellow cards 2 to 5. Well, that's a bit harsh on them. They only had 8 fouls and they got 2 yellow cards. We had 21. And only got 5 yellow cards. So let's look at the shot map. We need to see where we're going. Look at that. It looks like one of those dot-to-dot pictures You draw them together and something comes out of it. Look how many chances they've had. Look how many chances they had. They were all over us, outside the box, inside the box. And here's ours. You can see their ones are like slightly bigger. They have the big one there. That was the goal. Where he was on his own. And they have a lot bigger chances inside the area. We have one big chance, that was our goal, and then 3 half decent ones. Was that a fair result? Fairness rating 92.59. That was a fair result. So let's have a look. First half compared to second half. First half, yeah. So they huffed and puffed, but they didn't really get any decent chances on. We had that goal. We had the goal and nothing else, really. One tiny chance inside the area. That was Bradshaw again on 34 minutes. And 3 from outside the area. I'm guessing Jed Wallace trying to be a hero. Maybe they were free kicks. George Evans there. And Jed Wallace. Interesting. So second half. Boom. They obviously getting in the area. I think Ferguson said in his post-match comments that I brought you in yesterday's video, they wanted to get behind Mill and into the box, and that's what they did here. So they had shots here. So they Tomlinson there, Jay Clark Harris there, getting more into that box. And what did we do? Same. But I imagine all of these will be at the end of the game after the substitutions made. Yep. So Smith. Now he's this would have been an ideal game for Smith to actually start. Probably. Yeah, they were all, well, that was before the substitutions. What can you say? What can you say? So let's have a look now at the player ratings. Is it this one? No, actually, you know what? It's this. I'm on the wrong bit. So here's what happened. Look at this. Look at the strengths. Peterborough strengths. Loads of them. Loads of them. Millwall strength. Created a high number of chances relative to the possession. Weaknesses were aggressive, lost possession often, gave away a lot of free kicks around the box, committed a high number of individual errors. And here you go. So it's a numbers game. There's a numbers game. 22 shots they had. 22 shots. They only scored 2 goals, so that's 9% conversion rate. We had 15. We only scored 1. That's 6%. Yeah. 13-12 open play, 8-3 set piece. They gave us the own goal. I don't think that was an own goal. 19-18 crosses, 2-0 through balls, 54-61 long balls, and 515-249 short passes. Look at this. This is the worst I've seen for a while. Total passes streak 5-3. We were just letting them pass it around. There's that. There's that. There's that. There's that. And there's that. Look at that compact, like I said in yesterday's video. They were just going through the middle. Through the middle. What's happening here? We've got Jed Wallace, Billy Mitchell, George Evans, basically all playing in the same area, leaving big gaps between the 2, between the 2, between the 2, between the 4, between the 5, between the 3, between the 11. Big gap in the middle, a big semicircle gap that they were just ploughing straight through. We need to be more compact. in the middle of the pitch. Jesus. So now let's go to this one. It's on before. This is from whoscored.com, by the way. Yes. So there's the match events you can see. And here we go. We're going to go through the players. What did they do? So a crowd of 9,140, 2,300 of which were Millwall fans. Not bad, not bad. That's quite a high percentage compared to the home crowd, isn't it? So you can see in the top where you look at the club badges, you can see the average player rating for the team. 6.84 to Peterborough, 6.51 to Millwall. They were better than us. Edwards for them got man of the match. Just pipping Bradshaw, it seems. You got the same score as him, 7.3, and Grant as well got 7.3. McNamara, because they gave him that own goal, that knocks him down to 5.6. Billy Mitchell 5.9. Okay, quite a high score for Biakowski, 7.1. All the substitution, all those shots that he stopped, 7 saves that he made. So let's have a look through who did what. 21 shots to 15, and basically everyone in their side had a shot except for 4 players, the starting 11, and quite weirdly everyone on the right hand side for Mill except Afobe. Afobe, the main striker guy that we brought in, didn't have a shot. Maybe it was not a game for him. Maybe it was a game for Smith. Maybe it was a game for one up front and stick someone else in the middle to stop them running through us. Maybe, I don't know. So you can see the subs. They were attacking subs, trying to get into the game, but when you're a bit part player, I guess it's hard to get your eye in. Now imagine if they were playing at Millwall. Probably they might have a bit more joy. I don't know how many times each of these players have played at Peterborough. Probably not that many, because they've all been at higher leagues, and Peterborough have been in the lower leagues for a while. Have any of them played at Peterborough? It's probably not that easy for them to come onto a ground they're not familiar with and to get their eye in and get the goal. But they gave it a go. Oh my god, look at this possession, 64 to 35. Yeah, look at Norburn. That 9.5 is 9.5% of the total match possession was just in that one player's feet. He had nearly 10% of the whole game. Just him. So we basically let him run the game. And funnily enough, that was where Jed Wallace was, and he was probably too busy attacking to actually do some defending. Malone not really getting on the ball, so everything was going down the right, it seems. McNamara 4.9, so he's not hiding. McNamara, he was on the ball the most for any Millwall player. 4.9% of the total match possession. Billy Mitchell as well. So the 2 players with the lowest scores were the one on the ball the most. Certainly not hiding, but didn't do their scores any good. Pass success percentage. Again, Norburn 93. The 3 there in the middle, Burrows, Norburn and Grant, just unhindered, weren't they? Just do what they fucking wanted to. Bradshaw quite high for someone who played 90 minutes, 79%. Billy Mitchell 80 again. Kind of weird. Why Billy Mitchell's score was quite low when he had 80% of success of passing. Dribbles 8-3. So Cooper, Wallace, and Ojo were the dribblers for Millwall. Murray Wallace. Aerials 22-29. Look at that. Matt Smith, when he came on, 8 aerials. He came on 74th minute, he had 20 minutes on the pitch, and he won the ball 8 times. Like I said, maybe this was a game for Matt Smith to start, and not for Olaofe to start. Apparently Olaofe has got some kind of knee thing still. I don't know if it's so. Obviously, he can rest from weekend to weekend, but even then, maybe you should choose your games. Maybe that wasn't the ideal game for him yesterday. Bradshaw was 6, so Bradshaw's certainly picked up, hasn't he? And Clark Harris when he come on 3. So, and the 2 up front, Smodix and Dembele, didn't win any aerials. So obviously Ferguson said, well, we need someone to win the ball in the air up front. So that's why they brought the geezer on. Changed the game. Got 2 goals. Good night, Vienna. Ciao, ciao. Tackles 16-9. Edwards with 7. That's probably why he's man of the match. Hutchinson didn't have 1. Corners 8-3. So we didn't even get in positions to get any corners. Dispossessed 1-7. So the strikers up front didn't have a lot of time on the ball. The players were jumping on them and making them lose possession. That's not good. So let's have a look now at more of the same. Let's sort this by rating. So Tom Bradshaw 7.29. How close was he to getting man of the match? Which would have been weird to be on the losing side with man of the match. So the man of the match was 7.3. He got 7.24. He got the same as Clark Harris, who his high score would have been higher if they gave him that goal instead of putting it down as a McNamara goal. He probably would have got scoring at 8. So they probably robbed him of getting man of the match. So that you can see here, the Millwall players' ratings: Bradshaw, then George Evans, Bart, with all those saves he made, Jed Wallace, Cooper, Shea Ojo coming on, getting 6.6. All the way down. Danny McNamara with the low score because they put the own goal on him. But like I said, Phobie's 6.16, Malone 6.221. Now I don't know who come on for who, but you've got. So the only one. A thing that I go on about is when substitutes come on and they get a better score than the players they've replaced. So obviously that's the situation for Malone and the Phobie. In terms of Ojo and Matt Smith. Mason Bennett didn't quite do enough in his time on the pitch to get a decent score. But the others did. Matt Smith won 8 aerials, we've just seen. Ojo must have done something. So there you go, there's the ratings. Let's have a look at the touches. Who had the most touches for Mill? McNamara. Not hiding. Sean Hutchinson, Billy Mitchell, Murray Wallace, Jed Wallace, George Evans. Interesting, okay. Okay. Like we've seen with the shots, so here you can see the shots. Wallace, Evans, Bradshaw, 3. So all of these players had shots. 8 different players had shots. But we only have 3 shots on target, so let's see. So Bradshaw with 2, George Evans with 1. And everyone else complete. Not on target. Jed Wallace with 3. None of them was on target. Matt Smith with his headers going wide. And Afobe didn't even have a shot to have it on target. A really poor game from him. Let's move on. Let's cycle through these quickly. Yeah, let's have a look here. So total tackles. You got George Evans and Scott Malone having more tackles than the defence. Benik Afobe had 2 tackles. The central defenders didn't really have any tackles. Jake Cooper, Murray Wallace, Hutchinson didn't have any. They were more involved in clearances, so that's just scrambling. They're not really tackling the player. They're just like closing them down, standing in front of them, and then clearing the ball after the shot's been made. Interceptions again. George Evans. Oh, look at George Evans as defender of the day. He's doing it all here. He's putting up the numbers here. Okay, clearances. Again, George Evans at the top. George Evans at the top for total tackles, for interceptions, for clearances. Okay, Bart with 2 clearances there. Block shots. Murray Wallace, Jake Cooper, Hutchinson, Jed Wallace. Passing wise, passes. Who had the most passes? McNamara, Billy Mitchell. The 2 youngest and most probably inexperienced players doing the work, it seems, to get their foot on the ball and play it around. Whereas everyone else not really bothered, no? In terms of accuracy, Billy Mitchell stand out there. 80% accuracy off of 40 passes, that's not bad. And then probably Jake Cooper, Jed Wallace, George Evans, not bad, 75 off of 28. Okay. Crosses, 2 accurate crosses. So look at that, Shea Yojo. That's why he scores those high, like a man possessed. 6 crosses, 3 accurate crosses. Probably, well, they obviously brought him on with Matt Smith and said, "You cross it to him." Understand? Good. Let's go. And again, McNamara here, trying 4, 2 accurate. Murray Wallace 3 and 3. Jed Wallace 2 and 1. Scott Malone 2 and 0. Bust. Bad. Long balls and accurate long balls. Again, Bart 14 and 4. Hutchinson not very good, 11 and 4. Jay Cooper 8 and 4. Murray Wallace 6 and 3. Danny McNamara, that's not bad, 5 and 3. Billy Mitchell very good, 4 and 3. George Evans 4 and 2. Mason Bennett 2 and 0. Not good, not good. But there you go. So it seems some players not really working for them. Is it Hutch down there? 6.2. That's probably the lowest score he's had in some time. He's usually in the 7s every week. Just a bad day at the office for quite a few players. And even the ones with lowest ratings were trying to do stuff. Billy Mitchell, Daniel McNamara trying to get the stuff going, passes going. Just not happening. Just a really weird day. Maybe the wrong players selected. Matt Smith probably would have done better in that game. Scott Malone not really there. Murray Wallace doing better, more than him going forward than he did. All very weird. But it's the typical Millwall performance that you expect. Team in the relegation zone, we go to them and we don't turn up and we end up losing. And even though you kind of half expect it, it's still a kick in the guts It still really is. I really fucking pissed me off. 5 o'clock on Saturday, I was really fucking pissed off with how this came about. Yeah, I think we'll end it there. And now the whole world's going crazy day by day. We've got restrictions coming in on Wednesday with masks and all that shit, COVID passes and that. The next game, the Preston North End game, is going to be involved with all of that stuff. Will that affect the players? I imagine the players are affected as well. We've had the Brighton Tottenham game postponed. We've had today the QPR game has been postponed as well, Sheffield United game. Maybe the best thing for us would be if our game was postponed. I don't know. Probably not. Then if it gets bumped back into the new year, and we can have a midweek game at home at the Den, and it's going to be a game where we know it matters because we know where we are in the league, and if we win this game it'll do blah blah blah. Maybe that might be better than us just playing it now in all this COVID stuff, but I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, thank you for watching. Bye bye.